Ibrahim, is a lot of people think that mental health has to do with people who are not in good mental health, are people who are roaming naked on the streets. In your research, what have you seen to be mental health?
Yeah, thank you very much for this platform, for you guys creating this platform to create such awareness. In a society, we find ourselves in a kind of society where a lot of people are suffering. Not necessarily somebody walking naked. Like somebody can be cool, okay, even at the workplace, and the person mentally is not okay. But when I was doing my research, they said that mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, and that it affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Trust me, the whole human body health depends on the health of the mind.
Yeah.
The body is a slave to the mind. If the mind
stops,
if you see, your hand can have a problem. If your mind is okay, you don't really have a serious problem.
Absolutely.
Your legs can have a problem. If your mind is okay, you don't really have a problem. If your legs and your hands are okay, but there's something wrong with your mind, that is a serious thing. So actually, the enemy even attacks us from our mind. So if you want to change your body, how you feel, it all boils down with what are you feeding in your mind. So when we continue, we'll add some of the things one could do to really work on the mind. Even biblically, that change yourself by renewing your mind. You can't have any good changes within your body without really it starting from the mind. So the mind is, as a man thinks, so is he. You are the way you think. So the mind is very, very important. What you put in your mind, what you expose the mind to is very, very important. Understand there are situations the body to have control over the mind. There are situations, but then when the conscious mind is exposed to certain things, it feeds into the subconscious mind. It's stored in the subconscious mind. After a while, it is absorbed within the body. Then the body now start to suggest to the mind. Exactly. Even before I can raise my finger, my mind has to tell this finger to raise it. So the mind is very powerful, and that is where a lot of, when you are not mentally healthy, you cannot be physically, emotionally, or psychologically healthy. This is the little I have to say. There's a healthy way of handling stress, and there's an unhealthy way of handling stress.
Okay.
So from the way an individual handles their stress, you can determine this guy is facing a mental issue. The second is how we relate to others. There's a healthy way of relating with people. People with mental health issue, the way they relate with others, you can easily show this guy is deviating from the norm and other things. And another to make healthy choices. From the choices you are making, one could deduce from that this guy has a mental health issue and other things. How you are raised from the home you are coming from can also contribute. When children are growing, some find themselves with parents that are showing kindness, love, and appreciation. So some of these children are raised with a good self-esteem about themselves because they felt loved, they felt cherished, they felt cared for. Now there are other crop of children that are growing up, they felt unappreciated, they felt unwanted, they felt not cared for, they felt neglected, malnourished. So in terms of, and anyone can experience mental health problem. Anybody, whether it's a child, an adult, anybody. No. So mental health disorder is not limited to certain people. Now, when these two children, one from a loving home feel appreciated, and another one is from a home feeling unwanted, these two children growing up, definitely the other one is more likely to be exposed to more of mental health problem because he has problem with even how he sees himself. As my brother was saying, sometimes there's a deadline for you to come to submit something. Now the time is there and you are not yet done. I remembered when a colleague of mine was doing his master's program, his project work, the supervisor needed it within a short period of time. He was not able to do that. Look, that kind of, the guy was frustrated. He would be inside alone thinking so many issues. But when the problem was solved, it's like he just gave birth. Basically, so that kind of pressure. Now another thing is that discrimination, whereby you really feel like I deserve this work, this job, my capability, everything, I deserve it. And just within your eyes, you just see it is given to a different person just because of the person tribe or the person race. And you know, if you get this thing, it can help you and your family and other things. And maybe your whole life you prepare for that. So some of these things can easily default someone into that mental, emotional, and other things, basically. Okay. So sometimes the bereavement, losing a loved one. When I lost my mom, trust me, I fall into the mental depression. As he said, there's acute one and there's the chronic one. As for the acute one, we all fall into it. When I lose my mom, trust me, I was hurt deeply. I was really hurt. At times I could be indoors alone. I will think about it for a very long time. But then there are certain habits you should do to help you cope with mental. So if you're not able to cope it, very well, that is where it will lead to. But as for mental health, everybody is going through. But even the mental health expert, they also go through mental disorder.
I'll ask you.
So that is how it is. So let me say there's a job and there's your passion, like realizing your abilities, doing what you really want to do. So those are the job they already know, like when the month end, I'm taking X amount. And even 10 years, 20 years, they kind of fall stuck. That is something I'm beginning to realize. So you see, mentally, the person start feeling bad. And if you think there's no future, that's a good today one. Becomes sour. So you start thinking, you start having problems and other things. Many people try to relate mental health with juju, like it's a spiritual issue. So this Kumasi guy I was talking of, the mother was treating the guy spiritually. The belief is that somebody is doing him. So instead of sending the person to they refuse to be that somebody is doing them.
Yeah, so
mental health issue really mostly it's not about spiritual. It's not juju somebody.
Because